Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you have yourself a fantastic day. Today we're going to talk about investment versus running a business, kind of an investment versus cash flow. I've been in the Magic the Gathering world, collecting, buying, trading, hoarding, investing in Magic the Gathering for probably about 10 years now. I started off watching Rudy Alpha Investments and collecting a sealed case of draft boxes, and then went on to make a store and kind of used those boxes to start a local game store. And now I've gotten really into obviously buying collections. On this channel, you see me buy large collections all the time. I'm always buying collections. You can reach out to me at KitchenTableTCG@gmail.com. I would love to pick up your collection. I'm actually working on a collection right now, and this is what kind of brought me to this idea, because it feels like YouTube Magic the Gathering investment or YouTube Magic the Gathering finance is so focused on investment and long-term growth and sitting on product or reserve list cards. And there's nothing wrong with that. That has done pretty well for me in my life, to be honest with you. I think it's worked pretty well. But I feel like it's missing an element of where do you start and how to grow beyond that. And there's a lot more potential in my mind than Magic the Gathering. Check out this collection. This is kind of what brought it up. I'm just going to walk over. I'm not going to move. I can edit the camera. So this is these are just the lands from this collection. All the shock lands, all the fetch lands coming up. Yeah, the Scalding Tarn. Those are beautiful. These are a huge collection of shock lands, fetch lands, and no reserve lists, no duels, no anything. Check out the commander staples. I'll put a little small section of this whole thing is full of other things too, but a little Chrome Mox, Crucible of Worlds, Teferi's Protection. Look at Box Topper Liliana, absolutely gorgeous. Force of Negation, Fierce, the Shieldrids for you standard players. The point is that a lot of people avoid cards like this. They avoid buying singles because they are afraid of reprints. This is huge. This is why people sell me their collections. Probably this week I've had 3 people reach out to me because of doubling season being reprinted again, and because of all these cards that are getting reprinted in foundations and in different sets. Reach out to me and say, hey, I'm done. They just keep reprinting. I'm losing all my money. I'm done. I want to sell you my collection. Are you buying these cards still, even though they're, whatever? The answer is yeah, I am. Because at the end of the day, and this is kind of where I find myself really excited about Magic Finance right now, it is that these cards are still used for play, and there's still an incredible demand for them, even though they get reprinted, even though they get, the value drops over time. These are not investable assets. This is not something I would tell you to go buy a stack of fetch lands or dual lands, don't buy a stack of shock lands or fetch lands and go put them in a binder and sit on them for 10 years. That is not the way to do it. But if you can buy collections and flip them and move them into other assets and trade them and sell them, then I think there's an incredible amount of business that can be done. And all over the country right now, there are people who are getting out of the game and moving on, and you probably live around somebody who is doing that. There's probably collections and places that you can pick up and buy, and this allows you, if you take this model, this allows you to grow your capital, grow the amount of money that you have to spend on the things that you do want to hold long term, like dual lands and booster boxes, if you have the space for them, and all that kind of stuff. So one of the things that I feel like is missing is this conversation of hustling and trading and selling of singles. And that's something I've seen a lot of people doing in my Gold Wizard program, in my Discord server. They're cracking over. A lot of people will say to a response to this video is like, oh, how am I supposed to find these collections? Well, it takes work. You got to get on Facebook Marketplace and search for collections. You got to hustle a little bit. You got to buy some random eBay lots. There's a hustle element to that. Or what a lot of people are doing is cracking open commander decks, new product, especially anything that's like secret layers. A lot of people are making some money off of that kind of stuff. Flipping decks, creating an audience. You see with Pokemon, this is happening a ton. I think it's gonna happen in Magic the Gathering, where people are creating whatnot accounts and that kind of thing to create an audience of which to sell product to. There's a difference between investing and thinking long-term in the future and running a business. For most of us, like myself, you have to have cash flow in order to run a business. When somebody walks in to a brick and mortar store, or when your buddy reaches out to you and says they want to sell their Commander collection, you have to have that $2,000 or that $3,000 in cash flow to be able to say, yeah, here, right now, here's the money, and then to be able to buy that collection to then flip to make 20%, 30%, or whatever it is. If your money is all tied up in dual lands and sealed magic boxes, you cannot run a business based around trading card games. Now, again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with investing and collecting sealed product. A lot of people have their 9-to-5 job. They don't want to do this grind. They don't want to do this hustle of flipping singles and shipping out 100 orders a day and that kind of thing. That's fine. That is totally fine. They take the $500 a month they have in extra income and they put it into some cards, and that's great. That is a completely different topic. But there are a whole subsection of people who want to grow their net worth, want to grow the amount of money that they have to spend on cardboards by either working at the end of the day, you work a long shift, a long hours, and you pick it up and you say, all right, for the next 2 hours, I'm going to ship cards, I'm going to list cards, I'm going to do the work to put some more time to build some wealth for themselves. I think that this is far better suited, again, buying collections, flipping decks, right? Opening up Commander decks for singles, opening up sealed product, that kind of thing. This is a far better suited way to generate cash flow and extra income than sitting on sealed product, of which eventually you end up selling in 5 to 10 years. I really think when you look at this, it's all about growing your capital. And a lot of the times when we talk about investing, we just assume that people have the capital to spend on the dual lands and all that kind of thing. So the goal of this video is to show you, don't be afraid of picking up things like fetch lands and dual lands and commander staples and products. Your rates have to be, you have to make money, right? Like you're not going to pay 90% for these things like you might pay for a dual land or something like that. You've got to buy them at a rate that allows you to make money. And you got to be willing to walk away. If the seller's not willing to sell them to you at that rate, you have to be willing to walk away. But don't be afraid of these cards just because they might get banned, or just because they might get reprinted, or just because the format might change. As long as you have some things on the back end in terms of the ability to ship them, the ability to sell them, and the ability to have the TCG player account that is generating those sales, this can be a really, really good way for you to generate income, to generate profit in a business setting. Again, there's a difference between investing and the business side of running a card thing, whether it be a brick and mortar store or just like online flipping singles. So I think that's a really interesting thing to think through, because I hear so many people say, why my videos of collection buys, why would you buy that card that's just going to get banned? I'm going to sell that card before it gets banned. I promise. I'm going to make 20% off that card before it gets banned. I promise you. I'm not going to hold on to it for 15 years. That's not the goal. The goal is to generate income month to month so that you have income to either pay the employees or run the overhead or grow the business, or use that money to buy things that you think are good investments long term. That's kind of the goal. So let me know what you think about that in the comments section. If you are interested in selling your collection, we're always buying. I don't care about the reprints. I don't care about all the things. The more negative the community gets, the more collections that come into me, which is a win. We got another one here. We got 2 on the way. And we actually have an investment video coming out in a couple weeks or a couple days. I bought some really cool I bought some Guru lands. I've never had Guru lands, and I'm pretty excited about them. So you guys have yourself a fantastic day. Be kind to the people around you. If you do want to hop into the Discord server with other people who are doing this, the Gold Wizards are all flipping mostly Commander decks. Jumpstart 2022 right now is super hot for them. Wilds of Eldraine, everyone's talking about like a 20 to 30% increase even after fees on play booster boxes for Wilds of Eldraine. It's absolutely crazy. So if you're interested in that, the Gold Wizard program is part of our Discord server. You can get access to products at cost. If you're interested in doing this kind of hustle, let me know. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.